Imagine this. A packed courtroom, tension thick enough to cut with a knife. A legendary federal judge calls out a fiery congresswoman on her attitude, and what happens next? It shocks everyone. Stick around because this story of Judge Edith Jones and Jasmine Crockett isn't just drama, it's a masterclass in American democracy. Welcome to today's video. Judge Edith Jones spoke about Jasmine Crockett's attitude. Her reaction shocked the courtroom. Let's dive right in. If you're here because you love stories of political clashes turning into unexpected triumphs, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down one of the most talked about moments in recent legal history. A face-to-face encounter between two powerhouses, Federal Judge Edith Jones and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. First, who are these women? Judge Edith Jones has been a staple on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit since 1985. Appointed by President Reagan, she's known for her conservative views, sharp intellect, and unyielding commitment to judicial independence. Over decades, she's handled landmark cases on everything from criminal justice to constitutional rights. But she's not just a judge. She's a symbol of the judiciary's role in checking legislative overreach. On the other side, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett from Texas. Elected in 2022, she's a rising star in the Democratic Party, a former public defender turned state representative, now fighting in Congress for criminal justice reform, voting rights, and equality. Crockett's style, bold, unapologetic, and passionate. She's gone viral for her takedowns in committee hearings, calling out hypocrisy with wit and fire. But that same attitude, it's what set the stage for this explosive moment. Now picture the scene. It's a high-profile judicial conference where lawmakers and judges discuss the intersection of law and policy. Topics like judicial independence are on the table, hot-button issues in today's polarized world. Crockett is there as a panelist, advocating for reforms she believes will make the justice system fairer. She's passionate, maybe a bit fiery, questioning how some judges interpret the Constitution in ways that, in her view, hinder progress. But then, Judge Jones takes the mic. She's not one to mince words. She directly addresses Crockett's comments, saying something along the lines of, "Your attitude toward the judiciary undermines the very independence that protects our democracy." Boom. The room goes silent. Whispers start. Is this a public scolding? A generational clash? Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. In the next part, we'll unpack the heated exchange word for word. Don't go anywhere, this gets even better. What if I told you this confrontation didn't end in fireworks, but in something far more powerful? Keep watching. All right, let's get into the meat of it. The conference hall is buzzing. Congresswoman Crockett has just finished a passionate speech on how certain judicial decisions perpetuate inequality. She's calling for more accountability, suggesting that judges aren't immune to political biases. It's the kind of talk that energizes her base but ruffles feathers in judicial circles. Enter Judge Edith Jones. With her decades of experience, she doesn't hold back. "Congresswoman," she says, her voice steady but firm, "your dismissive attitude toward judicial rulings isn't just unhelpful, it's dangerous. The Constitution designed the branches to be separate for a reason. When legislators attack judges personally, it erodes public trust in the entire system." Ouch. The audience gasps. Crockett, known for her quick comebacks, could have fired back hard. We've seen her in action before. Remember her epic responses in House hearings? But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of escalating, Crockett pauses. You can almost feel the tension. She leans into the mic and says, "Judge Jones, I respect your service and your perspective. But let me explain where I'm coming from." What follows is a back and forth that's more dialogue than debate. Jones presses on constitutional authority, emphasizing how judges must interpret the law without fear of political reprisal. Crockett counters with real-world examples of how rulings impact marginalized communities, pushing for empathy and justice. It's heated, yes, but respectful. No yelling, no personal attacks. Just two strong women hashing out the core of American governance. Why does this matter? In an era of sound bites and scandals, this was substance over spectacle. But the real shock? It's coming up in part 3. Crockett's reaction turns everything on its head. If you're hooked on stories of redemption in politics, you won't want to miss this.